And good morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Monday, June the 27th. It's a beautiful sunny morning and Wimbledon is kicking off. And you've got Andy Murray, Djokovic and Raducanu on centre court this morning if you happen to be going to Wimbledon. If not, just sit in front of the telly with a nice bowl of strawberries and cream. In the meantime, we'll get on and tell you what's going on in the mining sector. Although I must confess that I'm doing it today, but tomorrow, Paul, you'll have to do it with David Scriven, and on Wednesday because I'm going to Brussels to the very exciting International Flow Battery Forum.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of vanadium producers there, I can tell you. In fact, just about every player in vanadium is going to be there, and I'm meeting with most of them. So it'll be interesting. Anyway, I'll tell you the one that caught my eye this morning, Paul. So I suspect you're going to end up talking about it anyway. But that was the remarkably good figures from Altin Gold, where they seem to come in with a profit of about 18.3 million against a market cap of only 36 million. The market cap is only twice its profits, which would be extraordinarily cheap. I mean, obviously, this is a company where trying to get news flow out of them is not easy. It's the Azebayev family. I mean, they're very nice people. But they've not been good at news flow. It's obviously in Kazakhstan, which worries a few people. What was your take on them, Paul?
Well, my take is that finally we've got this project here finally operating the way it's supposed to be operating as a modern mine with output levels and control of ore grades and all that sort of thing that modern mines do elsewhere. They finally got this deposit doing the proper numbers here. So we've got a 67% increase in full year revenues up to 50 million US, and the gold output rose by 68% to 27,700 ounces on the back of a better than 1/3 improvement in milling grade, even though they didn't really mill hardly any more tons than they did a year ago. So you can see the difference on the profit line pre-tax here, 18 million versus 3.3 million last year. So yes, it's the reason the price has been down for so long in Altin is because it hadn't performed according to its potential, and now it finally is my opinion.
Yeah, I do notice an interesting comment halfway down the sort of whole statement. If you read towards the bottom, it said the brokers who are providing sponsored research, they don't actually have an official broker, and opening up opportunities for investor funding, so they're obviously looking for some funding, play a key role in moving the projects forward. Rather unusual statement. I've never seen that in an RS before. But there you go. Anyway, yeah, look, the stock's up 8% this morning. It's probably very, very cheap. Okay, what else have you seen this morning, Paul?
Well, we had a little statement out from VSA client and Queensland Explorer Tectonic Gold that they are mobilizing their crews out to the Specimen Hill site now in order to complete the drilling program that they had to curtail due to weather conditions some months ago. They are fully funded for that particular completion of drilling, and we'll really be looking forward to seeing whether or not we can get some a depth extension showing up on the gold reef occurrence, as well as what kind of copper mineralization they might be able to intersect too on some really teasingly nice intercepts that they had in prior holes, as well as testing a really interesting new one off to the southwest where they had from prior drilling. So they also extended the life of some warrants which were due to finish off or to close off at the 1st of July, and they're extended now out to the end of November.
Yeah, it's tantalizingly close, I think, is the word, Paul. And I know you want to see some good assays or results first, but fingers crossed, I think, is the answer. Okay, what else do you want to talk about, Paul?
Yes, we had out here from Panther Metals, which is an exploration group which led by the chairman of Ariana Resources, the geologist I know well, Kiram Center. They put out a maiden resource on the Coglia nickel cobalt project that they have in Australia, and it's really looking pretty interesting here. It was previously drilled and known about as a nickel cobalt laterite, but hadn't been quantified to JORC standard before, and that's what Panther has done. It's now 70 million ton deposit, 0.7% nickel and 460 ppm cobalt here. Still open for extension yet here. As they want to get some more deeper holes into this thing to see whether or not that there's a sulfide component to mineralization underneath. So really looking interesting here. It's over 2.7 kilometers long and covers an area of about a similar size, 2.7 kilometers in length and width as its current footprint lies. But there are additional targets outside of that. So, yeah, really looking good at this point.
That's all seems to be good news this morning, Paul. There are a few other AIM company results, aren't there? There's things from Vast and Orosur and Cadence. Any of those you want to make a big comment on?
Yeah, well, I would say that Vast has now got the second milling circuit set up there for the Bite-Apply deposit here. It is something which was necessary in order to make that particular project economically viable. So finally, they're making a little progress in that regard. Now, if they can get control of the working capital position in order to actually recover the story that is Vast Resources, I think is a story to say. On other hand, there wasn't some good news out on Friday from Sibanye-Stillwater, as they said that the flooding that they had around the Stillwater mine in Montana in recent days wasn't particularly affected operations, but I wouldn't agree with that because the operation is actually shut for 4 to 6 weeks here while they work on the access roads and bridges that were washed out in the vicinity. So they've got some corrections to do. They didn't set up any change to guidance in the statement, but we'll see whether or not they can stay on schedule for that.
Okay, that one obviously is on the New York Stock Exchange. Anything else you want to quickly mention, Paul? Should you call it day there?
That'll be a good day.
Very good. Speak with David tomorrow.
Very good. Thanks.